This is Mats Lange. He won the Madeira Islands Open BPI in 1994, regained the title in 1998, and now, almost a decade later, remains a familiar face on tour, albeit in a different role.
I stopped playing in 2000 and did a few other business for a couple of years, and then applied to come back. I was basically missing being outdoors after spending 19 years on the tour. Sitting in the office wasn't really my cup of tea, so I applied and talked to the guys, and they were willing to take me on.
With his depth of knowledge, Lange's now a valued member of the European Tour field staff. But what exactly do his duties as a tournament administrator entail this week?
My main role will be setting up the front nine, choosing the pin placement and the tees, and also helping out obviously with any rule and timing issues during the tournament. It's difficult for everybody involved. It's a lot of time involves delays and low clouds coming in, and also the temperature hasn't been on the kindest side, so for everybody involved it's been very chilly and cold, so you just need to wrap up good enough, because we're not moving around. At least the players, they're moving, so they keep the heat a little bit, but for us it becomes a long and cold days.
Mats Lange, an official with first-hand experience. But thankfully his coat hasn't been required this afternoon, where in the final round, Daniel Svancic continues to shine.
Yes, and this approach to the testy second hole is psychologically a big moment for Daniel. It creates his first birdie of the day, 15 under now. Could it be his big day in the sun? Plenty of golf to be played yet. 28-year-old Aussie Simon Nash, fresh from his 6th place in last week's TCL Classic in China, cancels out a bogey at the 4th with this birdie putt at 6. The Asian Tour player is back to 6 under. Another top 10 beckons.
Back in mid-pack, I'm afraid Jean van der Velde won't retain the trophy, but his fellow countryman Gregory Bourdais is making strides. After parring the first 2 holes, he birdies the dangerous par 5 third to reach 8 under.
David Frost shows just why the par 3 4th hole is the second toughest on the course all week. This his 3rd shot en route to a triple shaker 6. And after 2 birdies in his opening 3 holes, his up and down week just carries on.
No such bunker trouble for the runaway leader on the 3rd. This would yield a tap-in birdie, but Svancic bogeyed the 4th, his first drop shot on the front 9 all week.
Very important par putt at that 4th hole, this time for Santi Luna. And it's in. He goes on to birdie the 7th. Nice memories for the 44-year-old, whose only win on tour came here 12 years ago. It's not looking like Christian Severe's day, taking a double bogey 7th at the 3rd and then leaking another at the 4th. But this little light relief, a birdie at the 6th to claw back to 7 under and manage a smile.
A third of the round in the books then, and Svancic's 4-shot lead at the start of the day has increased to 6 from Luna and Scotland's Ewan Little. Frost now back in a share of 4th.
7th, par 5, 538 yards. And the 3rd shot of the leader, Svancic.
I think, Kim, this is what you might call a raised green.
Yeah, bit of a tabletop, this one. Birdied this hole on day 3, and a good chance there for another 4 on the par 5, 7th.
Now Bourdais, who always seems to prosper down in South Africa. Finished 3rd in last season's South African Airways Open at Fancourt, and on course for a similar finish here.
Six shots ahead. This to stretch it to 7. Likes it. Oh, why wouldn't you? Great read, and how important is that to him? 16 under, looking very strong indeed.
Now, we visited David Frost when he was having all that angst on the par 3 fourth. Much better there. I suppose he's got the experience to be able to mentally cope with a meltdown such as the one he endured.
Up in the clouds. And almost. Van Zyk. You'll be on cloud 9 if you can win today. Right at the stick again. Looking menacing. 3 birdies already in his opening 7 holes.
Another of those holes where judgment of the wind is absolutely critical. Narrow target, this 8th green. Well, certainly to find the lower portion of it and using the contours to his advantage, Sever.
So next up will be the Dane, 28-year-old, Mads Vibe Hastrup. No real form this season so far, tied 43rd at the TCL at Yalong Bay last week, his best result, a couple of missed cuts, so a nice return to form for him, starting today at 10 under.
I've heard him called Mads Vibe Hastrup on a number of occasions. The vibes today, not good. Still looking for that elusive first birdie.
Topsy-turvy man, David Frost. This for double figures under par. Great stuff. So Frost in the race for second place.
Hails from the town of Helsingør, does VB Hastrup. I think that's famous for its hamlet connections. To be or not to be? You'd have to say, at the moment, the latter.
Gregory Bordy from Golf Bordelais in Bordeaux. But he's not boring. Far from it. Nice approach there, using the contours of the green at the 11th. And he's just birdied the 10th, so Bordy up to 10 under, alongside Frost.
Now, Kim has mentioned Sever's double bogey on 3, bogey on 4, but a birdie on 6, and now a very welcome 2 on the 8th. That's one thing about this man, he will continue to fight until the last.
Now then, if Gregory Bordy can just slide this one in, Daniel Van Zyk will be perhaps a tad more nervous. This for 12 under. Ooh, steady. Slight rush of blood there from Gregory.
Luna, another player requiring something special in the back 9. I think that qualifies. The man who's been the king of the King Hassan II Trophy in Morocco. That's 3 birdies in succession.
The response from Van Zyk is emphatic. Back of the hole stuff, 17 under.
Piling on the pressure. Luna, Bordy and Frost all making a fistful of birdies, but Van Zyk remains in control. With the 10 most important holes of his career to play, his lead is 5. More from Madeira after these.